All right. Hey guys, this is RJ speaking. I'm gonna put some chapstick on. Um, so today's the 26th, the day before Thanksgiving. I got up this morning to go get the EV car because I left it on the charger overnight. Got a message this morning saying that it was charged, so went over there to pick it up. Um, but just doing that task of going to pick up the car was heavier on my body than I expected. Um, So instead of me getting up and driving for Uber, I didn't do so. The other consideration is that I have a meeting at 4:30 for the position that I said that I want to do because it's a position that I could do long term. Um, you know, if that issue hadn't happened with Uber, I would probably be profitable with Uber right now. Um, but unfortunately, life happens, and it's just like that's my luck sometimes. You know, what are the odds that this time driving for Uber, like I didn't have an issue a couple months ago when I drove for Uber with the app, but this time I go and rent a car, all of a sudden I can't get on that for 3 days. But that's the comedy of life. You try, and that's all you really can do is you can try. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna lose money on this app. I paid 300 for it, made 80, and that's where I'm at. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Um, I gotta figure out what time my family wants to do Thanksgiving. Um, because there is a lack of communication just in general with my family. Sometimes I don't know. I just I don't know. I'm the only one of my brothers to actually graduate college. So sometimes I wish, you know. And then I have a sister who has her children. I don't think that's it though. It's just there's just a lack of communication. Um, People say that they told you something, you weren't actually listening because you weren't in the right mindset to listen. It wasn't a conversation. But yeah, so today's been a day where I just, after I went to go pick up the car, I've just been in bed all day because I was feeling weird this morning. I just decided to rest, and I have a meeting at 4:30. I'm going to get on that meeting, and then I'm going to study for the rest of the night. I'm not going to Uber. Um, I think I can get 4 hours in with Uber after the meeting, probably a 6 to 10 schedule. Um, but if it wasn't so difficult for me to go get the car this morning, I would have gotten up and studied. Um, but yeah, this is what I have to go through. Ice in my back all the time. Um, all right, but yeah, that's my quick video. Today's been a day of rest. Really, I wish I could just be a data analyst, a stationary position, work out as needed, try to rebuild my body and my strength, and then not have to do jobs like Uber. All right. But yeah, this is RJ signing out. I got to get up and do something. The meeting's in about an hour, so I have to get dressed for that. Put on at least a decent shirt. It's a Zoom meeting. Um, I can work remotely, um, but it has to be a stationary position. It can't be like labor driven. All right, thank you. All right. Another thing that I was gonna say is that I'm starting to notice that with my body, I can only do like one task, like one job, right? And I wish that was my environment. That one job is what I'm talking about. Is like maybe I could be just an Uber driver, just a data analyst, or just that. The problem is that since I lost my job, technically, due to having to service my back injury. I'm not terminated from the company, but it's hard to talk to them and negotiate with them some sort of what's the name. I realized that I need to email this guy who apparently they didn't get the letter of a return to work letter from my that I uploaded through the company, the third party that the company uses to verify um, medical leaves. So I have to email them the return to work letter. It didn't hit me until today that that's what he was asking. He's like, "Where's the document that you from your medical?" I'm like, "Okay, let me give you this. This is a return to work letter with reduced hours. Um, Maybe that'll help me, and I can get something moving with being able to do something." The challenge there is even at reduced hours, I'm not gonna make enough money to pay my bills. So I'm gonna be stuck. And having giving up my car will be a blessing because if I can't pay the bill, then at least I can find a job that'll help me keep groceries on my table, and I'll have to try to get around with Lyft and Uber. Um, because the bus this morning, like I said, walking to the bus this morning was challenging. And I had to like jog to get to the bus because the app was a little too close to what's the name. It told me to leave one. I followed the app's instructions and I almost missed the bus. So some of the tricks that I've had to do definitely in the past is, trial and error. So now I have to leave. I'm gonna say 3-4 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes before the app says it to actually get there on time if I have to do that again, if and when I have to do that again. All right. But yeah, I gotta get up. Meeting in an hour. I really just don't feel like studying that material right now. Because I'm so caught up on the fact that I'm losing money on this, what's the name, on this car. Because the app wouldn't recognize that, and then I'm struggling to work these 4 days. So my original plan on Saturday didn't work. I thought it would because I didn't have this issue last time. This is a new issue. Um, hopefully something. All right. Hopefully something changes. Like I need money. Um, I'm doing everything that I possibly can. I've contacted as many people as I think that I possibly could have contacted. The only other things I can think of is to check myself into a hospital and maybe I'll find someone there because that's what happened last time. I didn't have anyone check in on me and ask me how things were doing until I was locked in the hospital, and that's where they showed up. They showed up like, "Oh, do you need all these services?" At the time, I didn't, but now that I'm actually disabled, and I'm struggling to work, I actually need all those services that they said from a couple of years ago. So I'm trying to find out where those services are. Those companies went defunct, right? The I can try calling the lady, see if she's found work somewhere else. That's still more effort. Um, because did I ever? Yeah, I think she was using her cell phone, and then she got a company phone. But yeah, they would go around saying, "Hey, do you need help with anything? Like, do you need help doing this? If you are on Medicaid, they would help you." Um, and I just haven't seen that support anywhere. And like I said, the only way that I even found it in the first place is because I was in a hospital for 10 days. And they found me there. But now I'm searching for them and I can't find them. Um, but yeah, they would help with all sorts of stuff. Like if I needed a ride, they would schedule it. If um if I needed a doctor's appointment, they would schedule the doctor's appointment. Um which is cool, and that would be great, especially now where the doctors that I've used for the past year and a half just won't even respond at all. I haven't heard from ortho or the primary care that I've been trying to use. So I don't know what's going on. Stuck having to go to urgent cares. All right. And all right, thanks for watching. This is RJ signing out. All right, hey guys, my name is RJ. I'm recording this video because I'm having some concerns. One of my biggest concerns is I'm tired of people trying to discredit me for my issues. I'm trying to figure out why my doctors haven't called me back, right? And why they're ignoring my calls. Both the medical doctor that I called over at ortho. This has been the story of my life. People trying to discredit me as a person. Every time I tell people my truth, what I'm going through, what I've experienced as a professional, over 20 years experience in leadership and organization, they try to call me a liar. I'm an African-American male as well, so they try to discredit me. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out why the doctor hasn't called me back in almost 2 weeks. Right? Are they on vacation? I can't schedule an appointment with them. The dentist that I used to go to decided that they didn't want to, I called them to try to schedule an appointment. They told me that they're not accepting new patients. I said, ma'am, I've been going there for about 5 years at that point. And they were just like, oh, we don't accept new patients. We're not accepting new patients. I'm like, when did I become a new patient? I've been going there for 5 years, and I paid you guys. I fell behind on a bill, but I made sure to pay you guys up to date. So I did that. But yeah, this is weird. They haven't called me back in about 2 weeks, ortho. They know I'm in a court case. Even the doctor was trying to discredit me. Like, she was trying to push me off to another doctor. My primary care doctor was the only doctor that actually showed me any sort of empathy to try to help me out with anything. The back specialist, because she was a surgeon, they assigned her to me, right? I asked to speak to a professional about my back issue, meaning like a physician or something like that. They assigned me a surgeon. She did what a surgeon does. They did some x-rays, didn't find any structural issues. But then she just kept trying to pass me off to someone else, and I didn't completely understand why, understand it. I thought she could help me. So confusion between them and me. And then I was going there for physical therapy. I called them to try to get a physical therapy appointment. They won't even see me there either. They're trying to say, I think what's happening, and I read this somewhere, that they might be trying to say that they've reached their extent of care, so they no longer want to work with me, in so many words. That's the only reason I can think of as to why they have yet to call me back. On top of that, I'm dealing with some medical diagnoses that I've had for about a decade. I think it was 2018 where I got these medical diagnoses where they say that I have both schizophrenia, type 2 diabetes, and now I have a back issue. Those are my 3 issues. I'm struggling to get in front of my doctors. I'm in more pain than I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm trying to navigate this world where I'm struggling to work. Like, I didn't get to, because I was in so much pain in the morning, just trying to get the car from the charger, I wound up not working because I didn't find out until later that the 4:30 meeting that I was supposed to do to become a financial advisor, that they had canceled it, right? She sent the email about 3 days ago. In the title, it didn't say it, but you have to read through the email, and I typically don't read those emails. This is a new company to me. I'm still trying to figure out how everyone works. They gave us the day off, so no meeting today. And it was a required meeting. But all right, so that's okay. I got that news, so then I started studying. Filled out my FAFSA to try to go back to school. I did some other work to try to get retrained or go back to school to try to do something. It's what I had to do last year. I tried to re-educate myself. When this back issue started getting worse, then I stopped studying. I even submitted doctor's notes for that. I don't have help doing my daily tasks, like things that I need to do to make sure that I'm a responsible person. And me being the type of person that wants to be on top of everything, I can't just let everything go. Meaning, like, I can't just let all my bills go, right? I have to try to keep my credit up to date. I have to try to keep everything together, and it's hurting me that I have to let all these things go. Like, you know, I have to make things a bit simpler for myself. I have credit cards that I'm trying to stay on top of. I might have to go apply for a government phone instead of using my phone. I think the $15 a month that I'm paying for Visible, I'm struggling to even pay that right now. I can't justify paying that. I tried to cash in all my coins. All the machines are down. The coin out machines. You have to pay, what, 12 or 13% of your what's-a-name just to get cash. Just a cash conversion. I might actually just go back to rolling up quarters. It would probably take me about an hour, but I can spend time doing that as opposed to driving somewhere, having to dump, that takes about 30-45 minutes. So maybe I should just spend that hour rolling quarters. I'm not sure where, I was thinking this morning that we need water. I typically buy water in my house, and I don't know where I'm going to get the money to buy water. Yeah, I'm struggling to work. I did get to study a little bit, but that's where I'm at. I can't work a full-time job. Uber is not the right job for me either. I need a stationary position, one where I can create projects and work on those. I'm even attempting to go back to work, even though I know it's I'm gonna ask them for like a 5x4. Typically, if I can get there, then I can work and I can convince my mind or my body to get through the shift. I think. Of course, I don't know. All right, so this is a quick video. I don't know where things are going. I'm struggling to do any job that requires a lot of movement or activity. And I'm in pain. I'm trying to remedy the pain with rest and water. And I don't know. I don't know if checking myself into a hospital is going to be the best thing. I might just have to do that. I don't know. I'm debating it now. I have looming things like that. They still haven't picked up the car. I think I thought I heard a truck this morning. And I think they were coming to pick up the car. I left it in a position so that they could, but I had to move it today. Just convenience for me to be able to move around. So they may have to contact me if they need to get access to the car. I'm not intentionally trying to keep it from them for non-payment. I thought they would have picked it up by now. But yeah, I think I did hear them this morning. I would have went out there and given them the key. But I live in a place where parking isn't open. We have to stack our cars almost on top of each other. But yeah, what I've been finding is that I can typically work about an hour and a half before I need a break doing anything um, for work, like things that I consider work. Outside of the things that we have to do around the house, because technically we're always working. Anytime we get up and do a task, like take out the trash or, clean the bathroom or even put your clothes on, um, you're working, you're moving towards something. Um, yeah, I had a pain in my leg and my stomach was hurting. So that's why I stayed home. I didn't go Uber driving because I thought I had that meeting today and I could have went for 4 hours afterwards, but I was just too out of it to drive. Um, I didn't feel like being stressed. Like if you driving is stressful, especially for a long time, because you're bobbing and weaving through traffic. If you know what I'm saying, like you're driving, having to go the speed limit everywhere that you go. You're adjusting for the speed limit because the speed limits are different. It goes from 25 to 35, and then you jump on a highway and sometimes 45, and then back down to 25 in certain areas. There's certain parts of any city where no matter, well, typically, yeah, I'll just say this, that during certain times of day when there's heavier traffic, you're more than likely going to get in an accident. There's a place down the street from here where I live, where I was at yesterday driving out in Woonsocket. I noticed one too. That's why I said I was almost in 3 different accidents because, you have people that are rushing, especially young drivers. They typically like to rush. Like they're not defensive drivers. You have people that don't see everything on the road. You have people that have a hard time reacting. They typically associate that with older drivers. But yeah, driving, especially city driving, isn't fun. If it's not on a highway, more accidents in the city, right? But yeah, I'm struggling to do that as well. Like I said, what I can do, I know that I can organize moves for people. I just don't have the money for marketing. I've tried to keep up on my credit cards. Up until now, I've been able to do that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that these coming weeks or going forward. I'm just going to have to stick on my cash, let all my credit cards go, and then just try to live off whatever money I can make whenever I can make it. If I can make $35, a day, that's cool with me. Yeah, I can't, like what I did with Uber this time is that I did the math and thought that I'd be able to make $800. I didn't account for not being able to get on the mobile app. And then I didn't account for feeling the way that I feel now, where I can't actually perform a full 40-hour week. And I'm struggling to even put in 20 hours just because it's a lot to have to drive for Uber. You have to get out of the car when you need to take a break. You have to be mobile. There are almost zero public restrooms. So if you're lucky enough, if you're driving, especially in a city that isn't close to a gas station, like I was in Woonsocket, none of the gas stations in that area where I was at had bathrooms. So I went into the Burger King to use the bathroom. Maybe I could have gotten away with not buying anything, but it was a good time to grab something to eat. So that's what I did. It was the only public restroom in the entire area. But yeah, I ran into the same issue. Yeah, I've been driving for Uber for a long time. There's just, when you're driving for a long time, you have to try to schedule bathroom breaks and you're stuck in traffic. That's an issue. But I don't know. I know I can do data analysis work. but I have to find a data analyst job, and I don't think I can work a full-time job anymore. I think I'm just stuck trying to negotiate a part-time job. They got back to me. He did get back to me almost immediately today after I sent him my return to work note that was issued back in October, asking to work with them on a reduced hour schedule. So I'm gonna go work on that. All right, thanks for watching. Apologize for the nakedness, but I have to get my truth out there in some way. I haven't published the other ones even though I wanted to, simply because I was naked, but I'm realizing that I need to keep a record of what I'm going through, and I'm asking for help. The only ways that I know how. My mother can't support me, okay? So, I can't continue to eat her food. Or use the resources when we have bills that need to be paid. And I'm going to try to, it's Thanksgiving, so I doubt that the food bank is going to be open. I'm not 100% sure. I think there are some food banks that are better than others. And I'm going to ask this question online because I think some of my Facebook friends know where all the food banks are. They just look better. They look like they have better food as well. All right. Thank you for watching. This is RJ signing up. All right. And then lastly, what I was going to say, I'm just getting my thoughts out there. The food pantry that I went to for a couple times said that they were going to reach out to me. They have yet to call me as well. So I'm going to have to go over there, talk to them, and ask what resources are available. I'm struggling to find work. I'm struggling to work. And I have no source of income whatsoever. The things that I have online aren't really selling the way that I want them to. And I'm struggling to work for Uber for sure. All right. Yeah, just want to say that, and I'll add these two together. All right, thank you. All right, and then this is the last part of this video. I'm going to publish a frustration too. Like, I turned on the news earlier today, and I was thinking, they published that there was a fire in Hong Kong, Japan, on NBC News this morning. And I kept thinking to myself, NBC News will publish about a fire, 36 people killed, and I pray for them. But what does a fire have to do with anything locally? And I'm wondering why they don't report on local issues. I emailed them a couple of months ago to ask them to cover my story and got zero response. He was like, when I said, hey, listen, can you help me out? I'm trying to get help. I'm a small business owner as well as just trying to work a regular job, a 9-to-5. I have to do both in order to try to stay afloat. Can you help me write a story on me? He was like, yeah, just email me what you got. I'm like, all right, cool, because I have to sell them on a story. Like, I have to tell them a story, help them figure it out. I'm actually going to follow up with them because I need help and I'm not getting the help that I need. And I'm not sure how to solve that issue. So I'm going to follow up with him. I'm going to send a second email to see if they can cover my story. And then I'm going to call as well. They might actually be open on Thanksgiving. Who knows? People with no income, like low income workers, have to work on Thanksgiving, but people with higher income don't. They get holidays off. I'm pretty sure all the people that work as data analysts for large corporations actually get the entire week off. They take their vacation off, and that's what I miss too. Like, I miss being in that corporate environment where you get those days off. I could actually take the week off and not have to worry about money. I could be hanging with my family and not have to worry about working. I've had to do that for the past couple of years, like working on Thanksgiving, because I couldn't find a data analyst job and I didn't know how. Most of even in my career, I remember just not, my college degree did not prepare me for a specific job. It was so general. They told me that I can work at any place, right? I was trained to be a data analyst, and I think that way of thinking may have hurt my career. I think that when I was which is why, like, I talk to a lot of people, having specific skills for a specific job is better than just being a generalist. But that's exactly what my degree was. So I think my college degree actually failed me, because although I can work technically for any employer, I could be a data analyst, the skills in the market, when I graduated, I didn't have the skills that I needed to work in the market, right? In certain positions, like as a data analyst, which is why I had to bounce around. Like, I was going to accounting. I was so confused when I got into the open market that I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know how to get access to certain things. I didn't know what conversations to have. There's a lot that I didn't know when I entered the market. And I think that's why I was unemployed for 2 years the first time. Obviously 10 years later, speaking to the right people and clearing up my objectives, wanting to stay employed, and then realizing that I knew I was working at the wrong companies over a decade ago. I just didn't know how to get out of my situation. I didn't know how to get out of being a cook, waking up every day, going to work, and then having to deal with family issues, as well as trying to study. It was a lot for me. And that's been my scenario. Like, there's a lot that I had to get through with, like, family. But that's where I'm at. All right, I'm going to batch these together, and I just wanted to say that as well. All right, thank you.